In a small riverside village, where the dawn always smelled of wet soil and distant dreams, lived a young boy named Aaron. He was curious, restless, and endlessly hungry to know why the world works the way it does. His mother often teased him, saying his questions fluttered around the house like tiny birds that refused to sleep. But Aaron had one big problem. He didn't believe in small beginnings. He wanted everything fast, grand, and shining. In the same village lived an old lantern maker named Eldron. His tiny workshop stood beside the river, glowing softly at night like a humble firefly. Eldron was known for crafting lanterns that never dimmed easily, even in storms. People said he whispered hopes into the flames. One afternoon, after failing to build a kite big enough to fly, Aaron marched to Eldron's workshop and said, "Teach me how to make something that lasts. Something real." The old man looked up, his eyes carrying years of quiet fire. "I can teach you," he said, "but only if you promise to follow every instruction without rushing." Aaron agreed instantly. Eldron placed a small, dull piece of bamboo in his hand. "Your first task," he said, "is to carve this into a simple frame. No designs, no decorations." Aaron's face fell. "This? It looks useless." Eldron smiled slightly. "Big lanterns begin with tiny frames. If you can't respect the small beginnings, you'll never build anything strong." Reluctantly, Aaron began carving. The first day, he cut his fingers. The second day, he broke the bamboo. The third day, the frame finally held. Eldron checked it and said, "Good, now burnish it." Aaron sighed. "But it's already done." Eldron tapped the frame gently. "A masterpiece is never born in one attempt. It grows through patience." Days turned into weeks. Aaron shaped bamboo, polished wood, learned how fire breathes, and how light balances inside darkness. The workshop became his second home, its smell of warm oil and fresh bamboo settling into his dreams. But one evening, Aaron grew frustrated again. "Eldron, I want to build a great lantern. This tiny frame isn't enough. Teach me something big." The old man opened a drawer and placed a golden sheet of paper in front of him. "This was once meant for the greatest lantern of my life," he said. "But I kept it for my final student, you." Aaron's heart leapt. Eldron leaned close and whispered, "If you want to build something great, finish what you started. Greatness is not a shortcut. It's a journey stitched together by small, faithful steps." Aaron understood. For the first time, he felt the weight of responsibility warming his chest instead of burdening it. He spent the next weeks shaping the lantern. Every fold was a promise. Every cut was a lesson. Every touch was a quiet prayer to the future. Finally, the lantern was ready. A beautiful orb with golden edges, glowing softly even without fire. Eldron placed a tiny flame inside and stepped back. The lantern lit up the room gently, like sunrise breaking in slow motion. Aaron's eyes watered. This is more beautiful than I imagined." The old lantern maker nodded. "You respected the small beginnings. Now the greatness respects you." That night, the villagers gathered at the riverside festival. Lanterns floated above the water like stars, searching for their place in the sky. When Aaron released his lantern, it rose higher than all the others. Slowly, silently, confidently. People watched, dazzled, as if the sky had just accepted a new fire. Eldron stood beside Aaron. "My boy," he said softly, "remember this moment. Not because your lantern rose highest, but because it rose honestly. The world rewards honest beginnings." Aaron never forgot that. Years later, when Eldron passed on, the workshop became Aaron's. The flame from his first lantern still burned inside a glass case near the window. Visitors often asked what the secret ingredient was. Aaron only smiled and said, "Everything lasting begins small. Everything great begins slow. Treat the beginning kindly, and the ending will treat you kindly too." Moral of the story: greatness grows from small, patient steps. Never rush your beginnings. Respect the small work, and the big dream will eventually bow to you.